Welcome back, everyone, to the last match of the semifinals for the Northern Arena Hearthstone tournament. We're down to 2 players in the semis. Impact is moving on to the grand finals, and we've got Silent Storm, who will be fighting off for the 3rd placement tomorrow, alongside whoever loses this next one. So we've got Muckacho versus HC015.
Yep. It's both these players looking for that finals berth.
Yeah, I've actually not really seen Muckacho nor HC015 before. HC015 on ladder seems to be quite a grinder. He's a legend level player, and I think Impact is the one who's looking for this.
I think HCT played like very, very well in the last game that we casted of him.
Sure. Yeah.
Muckacho also very well. Played very well.
Muckacho seems to be a very emotional player.
Yeah.
Whenever he rolls, like whenever randomness comes in, it seems to skew his mood one way or the other, whether it's good or negative. It's one of those things that, based on the way Hearthstone plays, I mean, you almost can't let yourself be affected by this.
Yeah.
And if it does, especially in games that are so tight, we're talking Hunter-Hunter, Shaman mirror matches.
It's a game of statistics, and there is a strictly right play. And being emotional, I would say overall is a negative.
In this type of game.
Yeah. I'm like a very emotional player myself, so.
I mean, Hearthstone has a way to make people who can keep their calm, just usually. They might just be able to get angry occasionally. So Muckacho here, focusing, playing he's going to be playing the Dragon Warrior here up against the Hunter.
It's a pretty solid opening hand, I would say.
It's likely as good as it's going to get. I like Blood to Ichor very often.
It's a bit weaker off the coin, but
it's
like, it's fine. It's good enough.
It's very good when you're up against a Squire who comes turn 1 as when you're the 2nd player.
And, oh wow, the Ghoul is like a very, very nice addition to this hand.
So, right now, with the coin play, HC015 may be able to get himself some really sweet value, because Muckacho basically has to stop.
I think this is going face.
If he trades, that's very, very ballsy. And Muckacho right there, emotional player, lifts his hands up in the air, is like, yep, that 50-50 did not pan out. Because the big issue is
I think going face is just correct, because you were going to play Ghoul. So like, he quick shots it, whatever, I play Ghoul.
If he bows, then I guess it's a little bit worse,
if he
but
bows,
it's still
I still
fine.
play Ghoul.
Yeah. And the perfect answer here from Horse Rider.
Yeah, and yeah, there's still like this Ghoul. It's still okay.
Yeah, the game's far from over just yet. Is there a world in which you wait one turn?
That's so bad. I think you need to do that. First of all, Houndmaster can pick up the free trade.
I mean, he still gets value trades with Houndmaster.
The problem
but at least you do.
is this double execute hand.
So Houndmaster, do you ever Houndmaster for value trade or just get the...
Nah, you play the slower card.
Yeah, I agree with that. So if a Dragon's picked up, this could help a little bit.
Dragon would be... Oh, what a draw. Wow, these guys are going fast.
They're going fast.
Yeah.
I think there was an argument for the Warrior to just pause before he played the Blood to Ichor that turn with the Ghoul play. It could have stalled a little bit longer to get value.
It worked
after
out.
Especially the 2nd execute, where you might just try to milk that tempo turn at some point. So that is a pretty good spot, though.
Into a 5-4. It's like not great. You could also just go ahead and Houndmaster and pick up the value trade. You could also Houndmaster Abuse Sergeant and kill the 5-4. And
how do you feel about Houndmaster coin Toad and take the value trade?
I don't like coining the Toad. I like getting the Abuse Surgeon out there, but...
You mean you would kill the 5-4 instead and leave the 2-1 to kill the Abusive?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you are ahead of 4-3 on board.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
If you coin the high main, officially you're ahead 2-2-2s. But the high main can get better.
And he's going to go for the coin Toad play.
The Toad's kind of cool because you can trade the Toad into another minion and get that 50-50 to be able to finish off the 5-1 on board.
Occasionally, yeah. That's actually, that's a good point.
Tempo execute's pretty nice here. You know, and that's what execute ends up being in this matchup.
So 33% here for everything to go wrong.
Yeah.
And it does!
Oh
Muckacho's emotions are running high.
He lost the champion flip and he's lost this one now.
I mean, the 50-50 is not a bad thing to lose, but I mean, it's not, you know, an uncommon thing.
That's
but this 33% is
still not uncommon. Corruptor Execute was definitely a play here.
It was really good because it contested the two high main. This is what I was alluding to. He's an emotional player, and I feel like when he just gets tilted, he plays cards and doesn't stop to think whether there were other alternatives. So now he just sacrifices a minion for value into the high main, and suddenly the Hunter's board, which was a problem, is even worse now.
And it's
a cool play.
At least it isn't there yet.
That's a Ragnaros. That probably hits the 1-1 based on the trend.
Wow.
I'm calling it. We're going there.
Rag has to be played here.
It has to kill the kindly grandmother. It didn't.
All right, it's a pretty fair outcome. Oh my.
I never feel good when that happens.
What is this?
That's a
I guess he just wants to go a bit wider. He gets the same amount of damage from the abusive and the hero power. Yeah. He empties his hand a bit more for quick shot, making it even easier. But it's just like diminishing the power of the Ragnaros.
Right, Ragnaros has less good targets in this spot. Now, there's a chance if Ragnaros hits well.
That was a really good turn.
Yeah.
Well, you're quick shotting the 5-4, 8-9.
You could push him to down.
12-14.
You could push him down to near lethal almost every time. You have Call the Wilds left in the deck. Kill Command off the top. It's a lot.
If you go out there look at the top of your deck, it'd be much easier to figure out where do you want to put this quick shot.
That was the right play then.
Yeah, more crap for Rag to shoot at.
All right, so Ravaging Ghoul with Execute doesn't even begin to answer this. There's a Deathwing in the deck possibly. I doubt it, and it doesn't save you, so.
Oh, you're not dead, technically.
Curator can help. Curator can sometimes help. And that's going to be the Fierce Monkey.
5, 11, 12, 13 damage, 15 damage on the board with the hero power.
He has to kill the Abusive Sergeant or the 3-2.
If he kills the... yeah, that technically does keep him in the game. As long as you are.
Well, no, he has to kill the 3-2 specifically, right? Yeah.
That's one off for it. Not anymore.
No longer. That is going to be game 1 in favor of HC015 here. Muckacho hopefully doesn't get too affected by this, but...
I've seen 100 win a game today without Caldwell.
Actually, that's the first of them. Yeah. Good point.
But double high bait against War, you know, with like a pretty solid opener. Gets like the important flips.
I keep going back to the Corruptor into execute turn
on the first high main.
Done.
And then you just look at turn 2. When you have that Fiery Bat on the board and you have Outstros as champion, yes, it's very bad that you lost that 50-50. It's like awful. But did you need to take that 50-50? Why not go face?
I think what happens most of the time is if the Hunter ends up coining out a bow, I mean, it's a coin gone, so you're never letting him race ahead, and then you get to play your own minions, and he gets
if the Ghoul was in his hand, I absolutely agree. You need to take that flip.
Yeah,
the goal was in his hand. I don't think you need to take that flip.
That's a good point. So, reviewing the games, I think will give him some insight, or like hindsight rather. It's easier when you review the game. We're gonna be going to a mirror match here.
Yeah, the Dragon Warrior Mirror. The best card in the matchup is Blackwing Corruptor. It's like, and Fire War X. These cards allow you to get a lot of tempo.
You know what's funny? He's getting Zod's first mate as Muckacho here. You're happy.
Yeah.
Then Finley comes up and you're less happy.
I haven't seen a Nix in a long time. These are like all pretty bad.
I guess Shapeshifts with Fire War Axe lets you kill a Frothing or a Fierce Monkey.
Yeah.
There's some argument to be made for that. It weaves itself in.
Some argument made for Rogue.
Yeah, as well.
But given there was the first mate was in hand, it makes a lot of sense they didn't take Rogue.
So the 1-1 is not a really big deal. He's thinking of swinging with that weapon into Finley to weaken it, soften it for the follow-ups. I don't even mind that. I think I kind of like it, actually.
Yeah, me too. I think this might actually be a hero power turn. I'm not sure. Tempoing the War Axe is the highest tempo card, but you're not actually curving into anything. However, you can draw one of multiple 3-drops or even a 2-drop for the next turn.
How about Because, I mean, disguising the Zod's first mate is great against cards
Yeah.
like Fairy Dragon.
Exactly.
It's really
you
tough
might
for the opponent to
not want
pin
to
it.
play War Axe, even if it's Alex Raw's champion here, right?
Yeah, true. You get a good clean and
However,
really good trade.
against that, having the War Axe equipped was, however, better. Against 2 drops, it was better to hero power. Against 3 drops, it was better to equip the War Axe.
Yeah. Well, you can always just go Nazot's first mate, override the weapon, Fire War Axe, but at that point you might as well just Fire War Axe and hit as well as pass. Is there a world in which you play just Fairy Dragon to soften
Is
the...
there a world where you actually just don't swing with this weapon? Probably
I have a
not.
hard time imagining it. I mean, then again, with their hero power...
But
the
he's
issue
just
is
gonna hit
gonna
he's just
trade.
gonna hit the Finley, so it
Yeah.
takes away options for the next turn. It's just silly.
Wait, could you technically try to make that monkey a target for your Black Queen Corruptor by waiting long enough? Like, if we look at the way the board's set up,
You're gonna get other targets. You don't have to force it.
do you ever go Nazot's first mate Fairy Dragon? Pass? How about that? That seems like a really good play.
And punch.
Hey, you swing once, and then he can't really get the
yeah, that
plays.
seems good. If he goes into the Fairy Dragon, it dies. If it goes into the Finley, you can hero power and kill his guy.
I really like this line of play. I didn't really see it at first, and then the more I thought about it,
Yeah, this is the best play. This is by far the best play.
it seems super solid. Now, even
The
with Ghoul,
the Ghoul is very, very good because it's gonna let the weapon deal with the Fairy Dragon, and but there's still like, you know, a 3-2 against your Finley.
all right, not taking the value trade here.
Oh yeah, this frothing's good.
That's a sick frothing berserker.
That's a good draw for sure.
Now Black Queen Corruptor's live for HC015 next turn.
Yeah.
Gotta deal with that Ghoul, man. You can't just ignore it this time around, I think. Although,
One of the big things that, like that play a couple turns ago is very, very good, but what's happening now is because he chose not to equip this War Axe, so he's not as well equipped as he could be to deal with his Corruptor, or this dragon with his Corruptor.
so the opponent can always use the minion on board and his weapon to finish up
Yep.
the 5-4 or the Corruptor
He's
weapon.
going to use the Corruptor, and
The weapon
better
hit.
Corruptor is way ahead in this situation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Muckacho is in a great spot.
With the Ravaging Ghoul hero power, that's an... Oh, that's the card.
Oh.
No, wait, think for a second.
No, that's correct.
I mean, you could have hero powered and not used your War Axe, because the hero power, the one...
Yeah.
You didn't have to War Axe this. What?
That's wasting a War Axe Charge, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, well, you
know
missed
what's
one
r-
armor too.
You know what's really good here? Second
Second-
Black Wind Corruptor.
Or a 9-9.
I know it's really good.
After a second, after the execute that I've seen,
All your plays are good.
I'm jamming this. All the plays you can make here are probably good. This is a more aggressive route, and you can use the Black Wind Corruptor as phase damage. So,
Well, this better be execute.
it isn't. I truly hope the one armor he skipped on by not powering last turn doesn't come back to bite him, but he got, he kind of got it back this turn.
This 9-9's actually gonna have to trade. They've both leveraged their life totals aggressively to fight for board, but they're both like very, very weak.
Oh man, that second War Axe charge would have been a bit more damage.
Going face actually forces 9-9 to trade, but no big deal. I guess you play Fairy Dragon. Better against Ragnaros. This doesn't get you out of range of anything.
Over 2 turns it kind of does, but yeah, in the immediate sense, definitely not.
14 on board.
You can do. I think you might just tempt your luck with the Korkron
The Gargoyle's going face.
push.
The question is if you go face for 5 with the hero power over the frothing.
At
It doesn't
11?
get you out of range of anything, but the 1 point of damage, so 5 puts him to 6, he armors to 8, meaning Ragnaros would be lethal.
I just want to go back to the turn where he could have played, like he didn't have to play War Axe. That's an extra charge he's got right now.
Yeah.
And that's 4 damage with the hero power that he pushes.
Had he Korkron and face and hero powered, he gave him himself a lethal out.
Off the top, Grom might be it. Ragnaros, not this time, but with the War Axe charge. In this case, I think it's all but lost. Although I might be looking at this in a very grim light.
He's just like, I have this Onyxia. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he can't have a strong development turn.
Okay.
And then Nick actually catches me up. Even if like this 9-1 trades with your 8-8, you still have 6 more ones.
If the 9-5 ends up going to the 4-4 and you pick up a ghoul,
bad
now the
news
frothing
is
here is bad.
This is actually an insane development turn.
That is bad news
again.
for HC015.
That's interesting. I think the Corcoran Hero Power phase to set up for at least a rag flip would have been a good play, but
Well, actually, that defends against frothing, right?
yeah.
Just enough.
Playing a next end to a frothing and 9103 is not very good.
If you pick up, like you want to kill this.
Yeah, and then the frothing will technically 5 off. So this is actually this is one off. This is one off actually.
Technically one off right now.
With the execute.
But the counter curator locks out any chance at going face for HC015. So I think Muckacho's got this one wrapped up.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Go ahead. Actually what?
No, I was wondering if you could if he was gonna end up playing around like Grimasha in a rage. But
that is it though, because with the extra War Axe hit.
Yeah, that's an extra couple damage.
Yep.
Just enough to seal this out.
All right, so we can see here that HC015 would have never picked up the lethal even if he kept the War Axe charge. A very back and forth.
I really think he should have Corcoran the face. Yeah, I know he was like only 2 damage off from dying. Which
it's on
is
the
like,
cusp, yeah.
You're like dead to like everything.
In that deck.
Mostly everything, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Axel's champion.
But you
War
gave
Axe.
yourself a small chance, and I don't think he actually gave himself a chance making the play he did.
I think as long as the opponent armors up, you never get there, right?
No,
any taunts.
the Corcoran Hero Power put your opponent to 6.
No, if the Corcoran trades, you never find any
Yeah.
To
You
push
just
face
don't. You just don't
afterwards.
have outs. You can't
Correct.
recover from that.
All right, well, Muckacho is going to be taking this game with the Dragon Warrior Mirror. We're going to re-see the Dragon Warrior from HC015 up
Nelly.
against Zoo.
2 flame ups. Good start.
Yeah, it's
Doomguard's
good.
like not what you're looking for, but Icar Ghoul is like pretty good. It's not War Axe, but it's pretty good.
Doomguard can get good if the rest of your draws are all 1 and 2, so that you end up vomiting very quick, and then suddenly,
Yep.
you race ahead.
Doomguard definitely is better with 3-1 drops in your opening hand.
That's interesting because the Ghoul right now just, it feels like a play that will catch you up, but against a board like this, unless you pick up something else.
I like how he played this hand.
I love it.
He played around Icar and War Axe.
I must say, that's a draw you want to see if you're HC015.
Yeah,
you
this
get
is
the 2-2.
really good. Gets himself like ahead on board, or even on board, which is like something you can't often do against a guy that opened with 2 flame ups. I think you play the brand right. Sound curve.
So the upside of playing keeping the massive the flame whips in his hand for turn 2 instead gives him a lot of there's no coin War Axe happening against that 1/1.
Yep.
And then suddenly he has to split himself thin over the course of 2 turns with the War Axe with 2 imps to fight off against.
How important is killing this brand? I don't think it's that important, but
so with Argus possible as long as you dismantle the rest, it's fine. But without
it'll only hit 1 minion. But
without execute,
so you can Ghoul and leave a 3-1 Flame Imp, which you can poke with your dagger again next turn, or you can line up a pretty big Frothing Berserker against this brand.
What about just Ghoul, kill the Flame Imp with your weapon, and hit face with the 2-1? It's the biggest development you get.
If you're playing the Ghoul, I think you're killing the brand. I actually think Frothing Berserker is probably the best play because you end up with what you bump, it ends up at 4, then you hit, and it's at 5. So even if he Arguses and value trades, it ends up at 1, and then you just poke with the dagger.
Sure, I can see that. I mean, if you POs his brand, you're happy anyway.
Yeah.
Power Welding being used on the brand Bronzebeard would be good for the Warrior.
The problem with this play is Abusive Sergeant. You
gave him a good abusive.
Yeah, you gave him an excellent abusive, and look at how this is going to pan out. He gets double 1-drop.
Oh my god.
Oh no. No way, he hit 2 of them? That's bonkers. I guess
it's always the same choices you're offered, as far as I'm aware.
No.
I thought...
No, you get 2 different selections.
No, but the in the
I think he should have taken a Voidwalker over the second 1-3.
Honestly, it's here's the thing. The problem is that these 1-3s right now, for Muckacho, represent threats that he wants to address. The issue is there's also more pressing threats with the Brand Bronzebeard on board and the possibility of Argus.
Blood to Ichor and Ghoul is pretty good here.
So where would you throw the spells?
Blood to Ichor would probably just go into the 2-2, and then your 3-6 would just end up with the Brand, and you're leaving 2 1-2s. And you're hoping, these guys don't actually do anything.
Right. So we were talking about this yesterday. The card needs to be respected quite a bit, but the issue is Zoo rarely leaves you time to respect it.
Yeah.
You have to manage everything else, and these little imps don't look like much because they have to have a specific hand.
Playing against Zoo, you often have to like manage your life total and board.
Right.
Meaning, like, if there's a Flame Imp and the 1-3, you're going to wrath the Flame Imp.
I just want to put it out there that right now, these 2 imps will draw 4 cards total because the Doom Guard discards 2.
Yep.
And each of these cards represents a single draw.
Unfortunately, it pitches a Soulfire. That's something he probably actually wanted to have. Oh, more of them. More discard mechanics.
There's another Doom Guard and another Soulfire in that list, so the cycle is not over, and you get a free 3/3 piled on top of it.
Wow. He got 2 more of those.
That's how the deck plays, really.
If he were to hit another... I suicided though. Had he hit, like, another Soulfire, he could have, like, drawn 4 cards with all those guys on.
True.
That would have been insane.
I mean, that's kind of how it plays on ladder right now. The consistency of it, because of Peddler, I think, the deck got better. As
good as that turn was, this Blackwing Corruptors is very good, too.
You're looking for Soulfire in a spot like this. If you're HC015, it would be one of the better cards
another
you
Doom
could
Guard.
get. Sure. Soulfire is really, good, though. That's an empty hand.
I guess you're discarding the...
You keep Voidwalker here. Or you don't. The thing is, he's not discarding anything now, which means he doesn't cycle.
Well, I guess you just don't Soulfire.
Yeah, I think you just pass it. You let the 5-1 ram into the Voidwalker.
That Juggler, though.
I can't believe it. It put the 5-4 into the range of a single Voidwalker hit.
Yeah, 3/3.
That's unreal. I mean, you can't even Ghoul to protect, like to try to sneak past something. I mean, your guy just dies. That is bad. That is horrible. All right, so the Zoo player here has a really good Soulfire coming up. That's 100% guaranteed, unless Muckacho just wants to...
So I believe the new discard Zoo does not play any copies of Forbidden Ritual.
Wait,
so you're
free
saying
to
this,
play this, but a lot of players do not, haven't cut Forbidden.
Yeah.
And they haven't cut Darkshire Councilman. So, and Power Overwhelmings are still in some people's lists. So the deck is very much in flux. But I would, I think that the optimized way to do it is probably not to play Forbidden.
Yeah.
It's just really tough to.
I'm just wondering
go for that.
if like.
I see Juggler. I see Forbidden.
Yeah. But I think just playing this Ghoul is just like too important here.
I mean, Juggler is 100% representative of a list that still runs the Ritual.
Well, what do we? Oh.
That is. Wait, you might just.
No, you'd rather pitch that guy.
You draw 2.
Yeah.
Right away.
The Soulfire is just like very good here. Oh, well. Speaking of the devil.
And he still plays Power Overwhelming, so this is exactly the list I was alluding to, right?
So he should actually tap here because he only has 4 board spots anyways. Ooh, what did you just pick up? Defender. This Juggler has just been on point. Oh, I don't know about that trade.
I think I might have just traded the...
I think I would have just went face.
Yeah. I don't know, you let him make those trades every time. He always has to smash himself into it.
Yeah, you have 2 guys with taunt. Like, short of double execute, there's no way he doesn't make that trade.
So, Forbidden Ritual probably was the reason why he made...
Power Overwhelming is absurdly good here. He should probably Power Overwhelming first, right? So the Juggles don't hit the 3/6.
I mean, you can still get some.
Maybe he actually just wants to save the Power Overwhelming and Abuse Sergeant.
He picked up the Imp as another 1/3.
He's gonna play 5 of those this game.
Juggle again on point.
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna save the Power Overwhelming for face damage.
Never skip a beat.
Just make 2 1/1s.
I think at this point the only way I lose is if my board gets AoE down. We'll just wait. Maybe.
I don't see how that happens though.
I mean, it would have to
maybe
be like a second
Ghoul Execute is good enough.
It's just enough that it's annoying because you push 2 damage, but then you lose most of your board.
Is 7. And you're at 3. Officially, you live on Grom. Rag is like very similar. You're very likely to reduce. You're 2/3 favored to reduce 2, which is the same as Grom.
So the odds are, like, it's about the same, but
It's-
occasionally you just.
But yeah, you have
sometimes do
an 8-8 on the board instead of a 4-7 or a 10-7.
10-7 at that point.
It's very close. Power Woman seals the game.
All right.
So much discard, so much draw new cards.
That's really just what.
That was bonkers.
What I like about the new type of zoo, beyond just the power of it or the flavor.
The power level is like very, very high,
Right.
and that's something that in the months coming to Karazhan, Zoo's power creep had lowered and lowered. It was still a very consistent deck, but it wasn't very powerful. And what I'm seeing with this new discard effect is that the power level is now back.
Because Soulfire is better than Power Overwhelming in a case where you don't need to lose your board to fuel it, right?
I like this.
And
You
it's
play
pretty
Barnes in your
magnificent.
deck, you keep Barnes off the mulligan.
We've seen a lot of players not do that, but there's a pretty good opening from HC015 here with the Trog into Golem.
This is a good curve.
We'll see what ends up happening, because Muckacho can counter it with this hand. Like, he's got a good hand as well.
Yep.
It's still anyone's opener at
I
this
think
point.
coin double 1-drop into Freezing Trap is very good. I don't know what we're saving the coin for, though.
I think he wants to get his Barnes out, but
this
I'm
is
not sure.
a big mistake, I think. Because say we're not winning this flip on the Fiery Bat, which we didn't, we can't cast this Freezing Trap now.
Yeah, I think the goal here is to have him do the coin Horse Rider as a trade. Now he gets double 1-drop anyway, but even
if
it's still a
had
slightly
he gone double 1-drop into Freezing,
I still think
it
it's a
was
slight bit
good.
worse.
It was very good.
I still think he's worse off, even with
Yeah.
those 2 1-drops.
Maelstrom Portal looks pretty good here. Oh my.
And that's one of the best hits. I mean, the face was likely better, but
Is this like an explosive trap bluff, excuse me.
I mean, he's going to attack into
It
anyway.
doesn't get you anywhere.
Hey,
right?
Buccaneer Doomhammer, anyone?
Yeah, that's a permanent Druid hero power.
That's a good thing.
Kills
You're
the
the
high health
shaman.
minion, set up for something like an Unleash the Hounds. Okay. I think you sack the Trog and keep the Buccaneer.
I would agree, because the Trog has kind of outlived its usefulness. I mean, the buff from it is never going to match what the Doomhammer gives you damage-wise for now. And you're playing into Unleash anyway?
I don't know if you're actually adding the Abuse Sergeant. Given that 1-1 roll, your board is like very, very fragile.
All right, so this might be the beginning of a potential comeback, because this bow can leech value.
Well, he's just announcing to the world, I don't have Unleashed the Hounds. By making that attack.
Yeah, let's just go very wide here. If we're HC015, play all the things.
I think just a totem, just the things from below, is just like solid enough.
Play all the things, that's one thing.
Which happened to be his only thing in his hand. So he did technically play all the things.
All the things, yeah. Quick shot would kill command.
Quick shot, kill command, kill the 5-5.
do
Then
you
you get the
feel-
swing at the 3-2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you ever feel like going for Barnes, coin, quick shot, face tank 5 against Shaman is a correct play? The Barnes would have to land really hard. Like, they would have to high roll.
At this point, the Barnes is going to have to roll really high for you to be in it anyways.
Well,
this is time to Finley, and I think you want to be Hunter at this point.
Hunter, Mage, Druid, name it, anything that deals damage. And the Hunter hero power gets picked up by HC015, so there's a good chance he's able to just close it out. However, Unleash the Hounds at any point can still stabilize the board a bit. It's not completely finished, but the health discrepancy is really big.
6-turn clock just on hero powers.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one to catch up from. Unleash off the top would almost be mandatory. Can't even point out the Houndmaster. The coin's just sat there because he didn't play it early.
Well, that's really good.
Gets a high roll, but.
Freezing trap to reduce 1. Feels bad, man.
You know what you do? You hero power, and then you replay Finley. You get another extra 1 damage. Do it!
I don't think you ever want to stop being Hunter.
No, not in this game.
There is a consideration of freezing trap maybe the Horse Rider, because that guy has charge, but you can actually play you can play the Searing Totem to reduce the things from below.
Things from below's cost even lower if you wanted.
But you couldn't squeeze in the Abuse Surgeon.
So now you just push the
you
lethal next
just go ahead and put him to 2, because you're Hunter. This was well done.
Yeah, it's a very good turn.
We have to look back at that Hunter opening. Double 1-drop, deal with the truck, freezing trap the totem golem.
I'm really
Would've
surprised
been
the
better,
coin was
for
not
sure.
played that turn.
Yeah.
Because it felt like the only way you lose the early
Yeah.
game is if totem golem comes out and you don't freezing trap it.
Exactly.
So I going back to it, I'm pretty sure Muckacho would agree in hindsight.
Absolutely. Well, obviously hindsight's like 100, like, or 20/20. You're just looking at it like turn 6, you still have the coin. Probably should have used that on turn 1, I guess.
Yeah. Also, one of the big considerations is what does Shaman play on turn 2? The only play they really have
Is
that
Flame
you
Tongue
need to
Totem?
beat. Yeah.
And the second one is totem golem.
And you beat both of
And
those.
the third one is combination of 1-drops, and the fourth option is totem.
Totem, which is the probably most passive and best one for you to fight off against.
Anyways, yeah.
That was an interesting opener. He does have he's on the play this time around. Both players with an insane hand in this even series. 2-2.
We'll see
This is
how
match point.
we'll see how the Warrior decides to play this.
This is match point.
That's got to trade the bubble because of Abuse Sergeant.
This is where it's correct to make the trade. Against the Fiery Bat, it's a different story. Against an Argent Squire, yeah, you gotta be a little worried.
Oh my, more 1-drops.
Right, Ravaging Ghoul at any point in the next 2 turns. Looking pretty swell. So I think Fairy Dragon might just be a sacrificial lamb here.
Yeah, it's not very good, but gotta do it.
If I had a Ghoul in my hand, I would just armor up. Without a Ghoul, let me just use this as an arcane shot or a quick shot.
Is he gonna hold the Abusive Sergeant? Yes, he is.
Fierce Monkey and Frothing Berserker.
Yeah.
Very good idea.
That just means you're not playing Barnes, but you can top deck another play.
And he picked up another.
Beautiful.
Okay. Very good draw here.
Yeah.
So the Hunters, Muckacho is taking the lead here, but there's still a lot in the hand from HC015.
Had he played the Abuse Sergeant last turn, he could have just traded both minions. But it was forced against Ghoul.
Right. So that's a good turn for Muckacho to just develop his Barnes.
Kurkron's like pretty good there.
That freezing trap is going to shut down HC015 at some point. What does he roll this time around? Is it High Main? I heard the roar before I saw its face. And Muckacho, 3 out of 3 with those Barnes High Mains.
Yeah, that's really good.
3 out of 3.
This is why he keeps it off the mulligan. Other players don't believe it. They mulligan it, and they don't get High Main.
You know what? Admirable has a theory that if you're confident in your RNG, you roll better most of the time. That's just Admirable things. But based on this,
I've also seen Admirable claim I have never lost a coin flip in my life. Talking about actual coin flips and going on and beating people at coin flips like 10 times in a row. So I don't know how to feel about
how does that work out?
Stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Magic. All right, well, back to the game. We've got the board from the Hunters. It's actually just difficult for the Warrior to face off against. He'd need a Dragon to enable the Twilight Guardian.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, a Blackwing Corruptor to ping off something. That would be step 1.
That was a really soft turn. A Dragon might actually stabilize the Dragon Warrior player here.
Even Curator in the deck is good enough.
Curator would be insane here.
Execute is the last
that
thing
is.
you want.
That's probably the worst card in the deck.
Fiery Warhax was better. Blood to Ikura was better. Everything probably
was better.
Was better than this.
Well, Rag was tied for, doors.
Tied for bad. And that's an Animal Companion.
Second quick shot was one of the better ones for sure.
He's already played one earlier, I believe. But now he's just going to go full face, knows full well. This guy just doesn't stop damage, gets frozen trapped.
I wonder why he quick shotted that. He does have that freezing trap up, right?
Yeah, he does.
I think that quick shot should have gone face.
He initially meant to trade, I think, and then changed his plan.
He changed his mind, which is fine, I guess.
So on the board right now, we're looking at Lethal just from the Hero Power, and Muckacho.
Gonna replay the Guardian and stayed alive on board. Certainly not in a position where he can actually
Does he live? Because there's Argent Squire and a 4 attack going into it, and then Leok plus a 3/3 and the Hero Power.
Okay, never mind.
There was Lethal, I believe. I think he could have Hero Powered at 1 health, but the margin was slim.
Leap or not, he was dead from that point out.
Exactly. So That's going to be our second finalist, Muckacho, going in up against Impact in the grand final that will be happening
grand final decided
tomorrow. So congratulations to him for making it there. Now, reminder, all the people who are in the top 4. First place gets 3,000, second place gets 2,000, third place gets 1K, and fourth place gets $500. So these guys are pretty well off regardless.
Yeah, we have a $5,000 match and a $1,500 match tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see what happens tomorrow. Impact versus Muckacho is going to be interesting because all the matches that we're going to see are going to be something of a mirror match, and it can be very. It's about fine-tuning your turns, right? And I feel like Impact today has been playing very tight Hearthstone.
I think the most skilled matchups in the game are all the mirror matchups.
Sure.
Because both of you are doing the exact same thing, and whoever does it a tiny bit better.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't come down to a high main type blowout, where it's just if there's a back and forth with equal draws.
The Barnes RNG on Muckacho is absolutely insane, and I don't think Impact can match it.
We'll see.
He rolled high main every single time.
I think Impact threw back Barnes on the mulligan. I think he played it in the Hunter, and Muckacho's just like, you know what?
I'm going to go ahead and say one player is favored in the Hunter mirror.
Absolutely. Just Muckacho's taking it every time. So, that being said, we'll be back tomorrow for the grand finals and the third and fourth place matches. So, we'll have very few matches tomorrow. It'll be a short and sweet stream, but it'll be a good finals to the Northern Arena Hearthstone tournament. We'll be back at 10 a.m. EDT tomorrow, so don't miss it if you want to see some more of that. Still disappointed we're not going to see any crazy control warrior, but, you know, Hearthstone is what it is. Karazhan is still being tested with, and that double Spirit Claws Shaman from Impact might just spark off some
cards. Pretty good.
Yeah, in the mirror match. Pretty sweet. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching today, and yeah, have a nice one.